I really like plants, as you can tell from this channel, but I have decided to majorly reduce the number of plants in my home. Hello, my name is Palisa. Welcome to Plants and Things, where I talk about plants and things. So, as I said in my intro, still love plants, still going to continue keeping plants. But the major problem that I'm experiencing is that I have so many plants right now that taking care of them is a job. And jobs are great, but this is not a job that I want to have. I want plant keeping to be a hobby for me. And so that's like one of the main reasons that I've decided to reduce the number of plants. So I went around and I did an accounting of all the plants that I have, and I decided that I'm going to decide the number of plants based on the spaces where I want there to be plants. And I haven't decided what's going to go where, but that's basically what I decided. And I have my little accounting book because I love numbers. So I'm going to let you guys know how many plants, basically the project that is ahead of me. I would like to have done this reduction by the end of the year. I don't know whether that's ambitious or not, especially considering we're going into winter, and so it might be a bit difficult to rehome plants now, but this is the project that I have decided, and so I'm doing it. Firstly, I have the bookshelf behind me that you see and I love. So I currently have 10 plants living on there, and I have decided to increase this number to 13 because there are actually 3 more spaces where I would like to have plants. But also saying that there are going to be 13 plants on there does not necessarily mean that the plants that are currently on there are going to be the plants that are on there. Obviously, she's not going anywhere because she's gorgeous. But yes, the others, also not that one. Okay, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. So I have 10 plants on there, and this number is actually going to increase to 13. So off the bat, it might feel like I'm not serious, but also I am. And then I have my propagation shelf, which I did show in a video, and things have changed around a bit. I have moved some plants off of there, and right now there are 38 plants on that propagation shelf. And I do want to say that most, if not all of these plants are propagations, and so I'm basically planning on getting rid of the propagation shelf, planning on getting rid of all those plants, and I'm going to keep one plant in that corner. So, which is, I think that's going to probably be the most challenging part of this whole endeavor. Yes, but yes, I'm going to keep one plant there, and I've decided what plant is going to go there, and then I'm going to get like a little chair where it's going to sit. But yeah, so that's going to be a reduction from 38 plants to one plant. So this shows my seriousness now, hopefully. And then I have a shelf on top of this door, and that currently has 3 plants on it. Actually has 5 plants on it, and it's actually going to be 6. Oh, I realized there are actual plants hanging from there. When I was doing my little accounting thing, I didn't realize that, so I'm just going to write that quickly. Anyway, on that shelf, I have 3 plants on the shelf and 2 plants hanging off the shelf, but I have 3 hanging spaces. So actually that is going to go from 5 plants to 6 plants, which once again might be showing a lack of seriousness. But anyway, that's going to be the situation there. And then I have like a side table situation close by, and that currently has 2 places, like 2 plants, but there are 3 plant spaces. So that's going to go from 2 plants to 3 plants. So yes. And then on my sideboard, which I love, I currently have 6 plants on there, and that's going to be reduced to 5 plants. But that's also because one of the plants that are on there right now actually doesn't have a home, and it's just chilling there. So actually those plants are going to majorly probably stay the same. And then moving on to the kitchen, I have 11 plants. And by plant, I mean whatever's in like one container. So in propagations, I might have more than one propagation in there, but I'm counting it as a plant because I'm not going into other specifics. But anyway, I have 11 plants on top of that cupboard. And I really, really have loved having those plants on that cupboard, but it just feels like a lot right now, / I'm not really loving it. So it was like these propagations in glasses, and I really, really liked that for a time. I have lived in this place for 2 years, and now I want to change, and I did do some Pinteresting, and I am going to be reducing that number to 3 plants, which is going to be interesting. But yes, and I'm going to be doing other stuff up there, more colorful, which I'm excited about. So more seriousness again. And then in the kitchen, I also have, besides the upper shelf, 4 plants, which are going to be reduced to 3. And then in my balcony, I have 8 plants, which I'm going to be reducing by increasing to 9. I have a shelf there that has 9 spaces, and so I'm gonna have 9 plants where I have 8 plants right now. And then the bedroom. This is where things got interesting and where I had to think about what I have to do, really. I have 11 like freestanding plants in that section, and then I have 3 propagation boxes that have 57 plants in them. And this was the tricky thing, because at first I was like, oh, it's going to be so much work to like get rid of all those plants or rehome them. But then I'm like, actually, I don't want to keep the propagation shelf. And I don't, like, my propagating has really decreased over like the past year even. And so yes, like one of the ways in which I want to propagate is still to propagate to fill up a plant, like if it looks sparse. But yeah, I'm not really, I still think I will propagate, and so I'll probably have to think about where I'm going to put propagations. But yes, I want to get rid of the propagation shelf with its 57 plants. And so in the bedroom, there are a total of 68 plants, which I want to reduce to 5 plants. So this is the propagation shelf conundrum once more. But yeah, I'm going to have a breezy bedroom. I don't think it's going to be breezy, but yes, I'm going to be reducing those plants to 5. And then in my bathroom, I have 7 plants, which sound like a lot of plants, in my bathroom windowsill. And those are I'm going to keep 7 plants still, but I am going to probably change out the plants because 5 of those plants are like propagations as well. And that's one of the major ways in which I'm going to be like reducing plants, but I'll get more into that. So the total number of plants is like 160, which actually it's 159, but basically 160. And I'm going to be reducing these plants to 55. So I'm going to be going from 160 plants to 55 plants. And the 160 plants probably sounds a lot, but in my defense, I do want to say that a lot of these plants are propagations. And so even in reducing the plants to 55, I do not want to say that I'm not going to get other plants, because if I had to reduce my number to 55, I would still have duplicates, and I don't really want to have duplicates of plants. I would like to have 55 different plants, because why am I doing double job for the same plant? So yes, I'm not saying that I'm not going to be getting more plants, but the major thing is going to be rehoming these plants. And how I'm going to be doing that, how I've been doing that, planning on doing that, is obviously selling plants. Yes, selling plants. That is a major thing. I also have been giving plants away, have been doing that since I guess I started collecting plants. Since I started knowing how to propagate. So I'm going to be giving away plants, selling plants, and I also am going to be putting plants together to give a fuller plant, because some of my plants are not as full or as good looking as they were when they got here and before I got like snipping. So a lot of these plants are going to be made fuller, which I do have an upcoming video where I did do that with my Marble Queen pothos. So yes, that is going to be one of the major things. I'm quite excited to reduce the number of these plants. Like I said, it's really become such a job, and it just, it's a lot. The watering, I've mentioned this before. The one time I watered all my plants and it took close to 2 hours, and I would rather spend those 2 hours on something else. And yeah, I feel yeah, like I'm already excited to be that person with 55 plants, but also like 55 different plants. So yeah, that is the craziness for today. That's my story for today. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.